summer jam, skate shoes and that marching band.
First heartbreak, first slow dance. Now I'm just trying to make sense of plans.
Ooh, take me back to the roof.
Hi, it's Stacy here from Hemp and Healing Grassroots, and we are doing our pesto pizza follow-up to our live that we did this past week. And I'm going to show you how to do a personal pizza in your air fryer. And this is like super fast, super easy to do if you've made this beautiful pasta that we've showed you how to make already. So I have my pesto. I have my pesto that we made earlier. This is our Woodstock Wildgreens pesto. And some of the key kind of rare, hard to find items that are in this delicious pesto are our wild foraged river mint. It's a really nice mild mint that's delicious in this pesto. It makes it nice and bright. And then also hemp leaves. So we harvested young, fresh hemp leaves, and that went in here as well. And then the third wild harvested plant that went in there is our lamb's quarters. So those are wild harvested on our farm. And we're starting to cultivate beds of those it just grows naturally out of our horse compost. And it's a very delicious wild spinach. So all three of those items, plus a bunch of other fresh greens and hemp hearts, nutritional yeast. This is a 100% vegan pesto. No sugar added. It is delicious, bright, and gorgeous. So what I'm going to do here is make a very quick pizza. And something I discovered that the air fryer does so nice is I'm going to put greens on top of this, and we pop it in the air fryer. It like crisps those greens up so deliciously that it gave me some other ideas for dishes. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But let's get to putting our pizza together. So all I have here is a naan, kind of like that Indian flatbread kind of thing. You can find it anywhere. I think I picked these up from Aldi's even. So you can get this kind of flatbread anywhere. If you don't have this flatbread, you can use any kind of bread. And then there's kind of the question of like, do I toast the bread or can it go straight into the air fryer, or do I want to toast it first? I know that my Aunt Shirley used to make pizzas for us when we were growing up as kids all the time. And we always took our pizza crust. So it was very similar to this naan. And we would put oil on it and put it in the oven first and let it toast a little, then pull it back out and then add all the ingredients and put it in again. You can definitely do that if you want a little bit more of a toasty, pizza crust to it. But I don't think it's necessary. I did one earlier today because I was super hungry and got home and thought, I want to eat something really fast. And this is what I made earlier today. And this is why I'm doing the video, because it was so delicious. I wanted to share it. So what I would do first is you take our pesto here that we made earlier. And if you're using, I've mentioned in some other videos, we're hoping to make this into a commercial product with all those very unique wild foraged greens. They just grow quite prolifically on our property. And then show
that graphic again.
Yeah, you can show that graphic. These little cubes, you can just pull out, 4 or 5 of them, and you could like soften them up, defrost them in the microwave, or you can just let them sit in the refrigerator for overnight or something like that. And then you will get this nice pesto like this from those frozen pieces. And the reason we're selling them frozen instead of doing a jarred shelf-stable pesto is pick up any shelf-stable pesto and you'll see that there's some kind of preservative added. It's either citric acid, potassium sorbate. There's some kind of preservative, extra salt, something's going in there to help preserve that. And then you have to kill microbes. So you need to take the mixture to 180 degrees to kind of flash pasteurize it before you can it. So anything in a can or a bottle that's shelf stable like that, A lot of times it'll lose flavor. It definitely will lose a lot of its like nutritional value and especially medicinal value. So that's why we're huge proponents of doing everything fresh pressed, fresh ground, and then getting it in the freezer right away. That freezer just works. You know, if you can afford to have a freezer, if you can afford to, you know, power up a freezer and keep one, that is one way that you can have fresh pesto like this year round. And that's the only reason we're freezing this stuff is we're trying to figure out a way to make this more widely available and to utilize these things other than just during harvest time. And I just think freezing is the way to go. All right, so I've just basically spread my pesto around the thing here, and then now you can go crazy with ingredients. I'm gonna add, I have some leftover, we made these little chicken sausages that have wild rice in them. So I just cut that into pieces, and I'm gonna stick it on the pizza here. Rando, if you don't like those big bites, you could chop it up more and make it more like little sausages on there. And the meat I'm going to put underneath. This is the next big question of pizzas. Do you put the ingredients under the cheese or do you put the ingredients on top of the cheese? I am going to put the meat under the cheese because I don't think it needs to be browned up very much more. And I'm going to put my other greens and fresh vegetables on top of the cheese. So on here, I'm going to put my cheese down. And I'm using this Mexican cheese, this shredded Mexican brand. I just really like it. It is like a quesadilla style cheese. It melts really nice. I just really like it a lot. So I love the cheese. So I'm putting a generous amount of cheese on here. I'm just kind of covering everything. Getting that all evenly spread around. Like I said, just be generous, go crazy. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and lay this into my pan and I can kind of show you how that works. So here's I have a air fryer and it's a glass one that you can kind of see through. And then this sets into an air fryer. So that's my air fryer container. So what I'm going to do is just grab this pizza and set it down in there. You can see it just perfectly fits right into that air fryer container. And that's kind of why I like using these little Nan flatbreads. You don't have to cut them up or anything. Now, if I was serving and there's a bunch of people here, so we're going to have to I'm going to have to make several pizzas and it might take me a half an hour to get all the pizzas made. If you're just cooking for yourself, this one pizza, that's all you need. Just do it in the air fryer like this. If you're cooking for 5, 6 people or the whole family, or you're having a bunch of people over, then use the oven and, put it on sheet pans and stuff and put it in the oven. So that's my cheese on there. Now I'm going to put some vegetables on here. And again, you can cook these vegetables and stir fry them in some kind of oil if you want, brown them a little bit. You could finish them with aronia. You could do those mushrooms that I finished with aronia that I cooked in butter earlier in a previous video when we were making the pasta. You could do those and put those on top. But I'm kind of in a hurry, right? So I don't have time to do all that prep. And so I just chopped up these beautiful red peppers, red sweet peppers. And I'm just going to kind of sprinkle those around. And I got those going on. Jane Colby, Dr. Mary Jane, she picked some of her fresh herbs from her garden. And I'm going to put some of those herbs on. So we have some beautiful chives that are going to go on here. How lovely that is. And then some fresh dill. I think it's going to be super nice. This dill is really mild. We just taste it. Again, my recommendation, whenever you're using any kind of strong herb or spice, always taste it first. Get an idea of how bitter or strong it is. and then decide how much you want to use for that. And then this is the one that I think is so cool. We had a bag of fresh kind of greens, like salad greens here. So I'm just going to I'm going to show you what happens to these. I'm just going to liberally lay these salad greens down. And these cook up just so amazing in the air fryer. It's so delicious how they crisp up. You will see. And my big idea is I think I want to do stir fried, pan fried lamb's quarters, and go look for that video where I pan fry the lamb's quarters in sunflower oil. It's delicious. But I was thinking, and Mom and I are doing a progressive dinner this weekend with the ladies from, I think, the Historical Society, and the Unity Church is putting a thing on. Is it Saturday or Sunday we're doing it? Saturday. I was thinking of doing this dish for them. I was thinking of cooking up the spinach and putting it in a casserole dish and then topping it with these fresh greens and then doing in the oven or in the air fryer. It's crazy. You'll see. We'll see how these turn out once I put it in. So I'm all done. I guess I could do some fresh ground pepper on here. I always love liberal pepper amounts. Super healthy for you. And I just love it. And then some salt. You don't need a ton of salt.
Our camera.
Huh?
You're
Did I salt my camera? There's some salt in there. Like cheese is pretty salty already to begin with, so you don't want to go crazy on the salt. And now, I bumped my camera. Did I get off?
That's good.
There we go. So now, I salted the camera and salted it away. So now what I'm doing is you can't quite see it on the camera, but I'm setting it into my air fryer here. Put it into the air fryer. And then I am doing it at 395 degrees. Putting on that air fryer, and I just hit start. We're at 395, and I have this really nice glass air fryer where I can kind of see what's going on. So I'm just going to watch it and see how many minutes it takes to how I like it. And then we'll come back. We're just going to pause the video here, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the end product, and I'll tell you exactly how many minutes we kept it in the air fryer at that 395.
Go.
Hi, we're back. Okay, this is 10 minutes later. Look at that. Look how it crisps up. I think it's so delicious on here. It is just, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, how do I get it out of there? That's the big question. Oh, I can lift it out of here. There we go. Thing. Pull this off of here. See what the underside looks like. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's a little crispy. Okay, so that's that. And we'll put this back because we're going to start a second pizza here because there's hungry people here. So that took 10 minutes to produce that. So now I'm just going to throw another pizza in. I prepped one just like that. Slide it in there just like that. And then look at all those greens. Like I generously applied a lot of greens on there. So I'm going to do the same for this one. Again, just toss generous amount of greens on there because I think they taste so delicious toasted. So that's what I got. I'm going back in the air fryer. And again, we're doing 400 degrees, 395, 400, whatever, for about 10 minutes. And I love my air fryer because it's glass and I can see what's cooking inside and kind of watch that. Wasn't super expensive. You can find them out there. You don't have to spend $100 or anything like that. Now, as I'm touching this pizza, it is real soft. Like the bread feels real soft. Some people don't like that real soft, malleable kind of pizza. I think it's delicious. If you want a hardier, crustier pizza dough on the bottom, all you got to do is take an extra 5 minutes. What you would do is put just a little bit of that sunflower oil, not the pesto, just the sunflower oil. I would put it on your naan, stick it in there at the same 400 degrees, maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Again, watch it. You don't want it burning, but that will make it crispier and toastier if you like that thicker kind of crunch. But let's cut this up and pass it around to our crew here.
Now we're talking.
And then we can get some feedback on our pesto pizza, our hempstock Woodstock pesto pizza here. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 people in our audience. There's one. I'll keep serving this up when I get more dishes here. So look at that. That's one little piece. And they give you more crunchies on top because those are so good. Pass that around.
Yeah.
And again, oh my gosh, those taste so good on there. I want you to get all your little crunchies. That looks amazing.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm.
Did Dave get one?
Nope. I went in that direction.
No, he said I could have this.
So you get it. All right, I'm gonna have this last little square. And I'm gonna do that big giant bite. Love to do.
Mm.
Mm.
Wow. It was a huge bite.
I like the crunch.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. I would even put more of the pesto on there.
More
I think-
pesto?
I think so.
Oh,
It's that delicious.
I can't believe Chris, the leaves, the greens said well.
I know, isn't it delicious?
Unreal.
It's like it's crunchy. I mean, it's such a nice. What do you think, Dave?
Yeah, you can you can taste it.
And the greens, you can really taste the flavor of those crunchy greens. That
Mhm.
brings a different flavor to it. It tastes like that salad mix.
What you can do, air dry your stuff, crumble it, and
Oh.
use this.
Absolutely. That's a great, if you couldn't hear, my mom said, what you could do is just air fry your greens and then put it in a jar and use it as a topping, as a flavorful topping. I think that's a brilliant idea. It's crazy that they work so nice in the air fryer. This is something you think you'd have to buy an expensive dehydrator or something like that. I'll have to play around with it more, using it as a dehydrator to do things like that.
What
mean-
are the greens from? Is that just a mix?
That's just I think you picked this up at the farmer's market, Mom. Didn't you buy this bag of lettuce at the farmer's market? Did you bring that? Was that something Jane picked for me from her?
Jane,
It must be.
It wasn't from Madama Farms because it was all cleaned and ready in a bag. Found it in my fridge. It just showed up there somehow. I think somebody picked it up, and I'm not sure all what's in here.
I think it's got leaf lettuce.
But yeah, I don't know what this. What is this lettuce called? Do you know?
That was
I don't know. It's very different than the lamb's quarters. It has a different flavor.
that's big enough, I think.
What is that? It's I don't know. It's very flavorful. I don't know. We're
I
gonna have
think
to
it's
chase
just
it down and
like
post
a
later on.
salad.
It's some kind of salad mix and some kind of lettuce, but it's very, very flavorful. It's not just a straight lettuce. I don't know what it is, but we got to figure out who we bought it from. It's delicious. And you can tell it's like wild grown just because of the bugs that have been after it, that it's real. And it's been, let's see, 5 minutes. I just want to pull this out and show you. This is only 5 minutes in the air fryer. So you can kind of see how pretty that is. And it might be a good idea. I mean, that's kind of nice. That's nice at 5 minutes. It might, I might want to split up and do my naan first in there and toast the bread a little bit. Maybe toast the bread for 5 minutes, then do this topping for 5 minutes. That might be perfect. But look at that. You can even hear it. That is just delicious on there. And it's beautiful. Like I crunched it up and made it little, but it looks so pretty. The big leaves
It's eye candy.
on there. I mean, what a nice presentation when you're having people over. That's so cool. I think it would be really hard to do this in the oven. I don't think it's dry enough in the oven. I think there's too much air
I wonder
circulating.
if it's in a convection oven.
Maybe in a convection oven. You guys try it out there. If anybody sees this, put it in the comments or whatever. Let us know. I'm going to heat this up a couple more minutes and serve up, make a third one. We got people here and we're going to enjoy eating our pesto pizza from our or what do we call it? What are we calling it?
Woodstock Wildgreens.
Woodstock Wildgreens pesto. So thanks again. This is Stacy. Happy healing to you. And thanks for watching another little episode of Hemp and Healing Grassroots.
I just wanna rewind, bring me back to my prime. The Wi-Fi still felt so live, freestyling on beats outside. Whole squad with the sour spray vibes, no fake flex.